Hiya, my name is Matt and this is my channel, Beer, Wood, Bigfoot, Ghost, where I talk about any one of those four topics at any time. Beer, Wood, Bigfoot, Ghost. This is a beer episode. I'm going to do a review of a beer I got from a local brewery in Athens, Georgia called Normaltown Brewing Company. You've probably heard me talk about Normaltown a bit in previous videos, but I never had one of their beers to try on camera, so that's something to do for this channel today. But before I do that, you'll probably also notice that I'm no longer in my workshop where I do all my woodworking and whatnot. Instead, I am in my basement brew house. That's right, I've got a brew house in the basement. This is some of the equipment behind me right now. I'm real excited about some of this stuff because it's brand new, and I'll talk about that briefly in a moment. But by way of background, I started home brewing about 8 years ago. Before I got into the brewing business, where I worked at two different breweries, Two Ton Brewing up in Kenilworth, New Jersey, and also South Main Brewing in Watkinsville, Georgia, where I currently work. So I've held a number of positions at both those breweries. I've pretty much done everything you can in the brewing business. But I never stopped being a home brewer, which I've been doing for about 8 years now. Now, in the current house we're at right now, we've only been there for about 2 years, and I've only home brewed twice since I've been here. And I've been using my old traditional three-piece brewing equipment, which a lot of home brewers use. Fairly cheap to acquire, easy to brew on. And this piece of equipment here, this is my new Brewzilla, which is a 3.1 version, all-electric, all-in-one brewing system, which I'll cover probably in a future video when I do my first brew on this thing, and I'm very excited about that. Let me show you the equipment I've been using for years, which is on the stack right behind me right now. This is my older three-piece brewing equipment. In brewing, you've got what's called a hot electric tank, which basically holds hot water for you at temperature. And that is an old igloo that I converted for that purpose. That's my mash tun, and I would do brew in a bag inside that mash tun. Just basically, it helps me eliminate a lot of the extra grain fallout before I head it over to the boil kettle, which has been a great piece of equipment for me. That's the propane burner right up top there. And I keg into these corny kegs right here. And so all those kegs, those two, plus some commercial kegs I sometimes get, go into my beer fridge. Yeah, everybody should have one. Beer, Wood, Bigfoot, Ghost, right? A lot of stickers on here. I'm like a lot of you guys at home that drink craft brew. I collect stickers from all the breweries I go. I've got 2 taps on this old refrigerator, so I can get both those kegs going at the same time. That is my fermentation chamber. Yeah, it's an upright freezer. I've got an Inkbird controller so that I could hold temperature wherever I want it. So if I want to do lagering and I want to ferment at 55 degrees, I can do that as well. And so that's a great piece of equipment. I built this giant wooden collar around it so that I would have extra room for that anvil fermenter back over here. Yeah, and then that is the Brewzilla 3.1. It's got a recirculation arm at the top. That's the actual mash tun holder right there with screens at the bottom. I'll talk about this equipment some other time. Now, why am I moving from this traditional brewing equipment that I've been using for 8 years to this new all-in-one? Well, I'm moving to the all-in-one because it's electric and I can use it right here inside. With this old equipment and that boil kettle, which would be heated with that propane burner, I would have to go outside. And I don't know if you've ever spent a summer in Georgia, but it gets really effing hot here. I think in the last couple of weeks, we've had upwards of 95-degree temperatures with 90% humidity. And I think it's even creeped higher than that. And heat indexes has been well over 100, sometimes up to 105. And then during the winter, even though we don't get snow and all that sort of stuff, with the occasional storm we will, it does get like January and February, the highs can sometimes be 40 degrees. So brewing outside on propane gets to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. So this all-in-one system is my future. And again, I'll cover that in a future video. Okay, so now we're going to get to the beer review. This is Normaltown Brewing's Elder Masters. And what is Elder Masters? Well, Elder Masters is a West Coast style IPA. That means typically West Coast styles can be piney and resiny. It's not going to be hazy. It can be a little, but generally it's going to be more clear than like a New England style IPA. This is an Imperial, which means it runs over 8%. That's usually a term for that. In fact, Elder Masters runs about 8.9%. Now, a couple things about this beer. It is, it's kind of the base or mainstay beer over at Normaltown Brewing. Every brewery, no matter how long they've been in existence, has got 1 to, let's say, 5 beers, which are their constants, right? They're the ones that the customers come in for all the time. It's how they build the business, if you will. And Normaltown built their business around Elder Masters and a bunch of really good, dank, juicy, hazy IPAs. Okay, so Elder Masters, and we are going to drink this out of a 2-ton brewing pint glass. I love this design. If you're not familiar, this ridge here is an intentional design. I think it's English in origin, if memory serves me correct. And it basically helps you keep a really nice head on the top here and kind of release some of the CO2 and keeps that head coming. It's also a great grabbing point, so it's nice to hold on to if you've had a few. All right. So let's talk about this beer just for a second or two as we pour it. All right, let's give this a good pour. Yeah, nice, better than straw color or darker than straw color. I'm a little more in there. Nice head retention right out of the, right out of the can. Nice head retention. Okay, let's take a second here to talk about this beer. So this is as I said, a West Coast style IPA. According to Normaltown, its base malt is 2-row. That's a standard base malt for pretty much a lot of ales and lagers in the United States, but mainly ales. It's the real standard 2-row. And also, according to Normaltown, there's a lot of dextrose that's added as well. So when you add dextrose to a beer, what you're doing is you're basically ramping up the sugars, right? The soluble sugars, so that when the yeast goes to do its job and converts to alcohol, it's got more to work with. That's generally how you pump up and get above, let's say, 7 to 7.5% is by adding dextrose. And Normaltown does that for their beer. I'll put that a little closer here for you. And they also, for bittering, they use a hop extract. If you're not familiar with what a hop extract is, instead of the pelletized pieces of hop that are used traditionally, a lot of times a hop extract is like a paste. And using a hop extract as a bittering agent is very efficient. Because it melts down real quick, does not leave a lot of extra particulate matter in the wort, and it absorbs very quickly. So it's a good way to do a bittering hop addition. And then at 20 minutes and at flame out, they add Columbus, Centennial, and Cascade. Those, sometimes people refer to those 3 hops, Columbus, Centennial, and Cascade, as the 3 C's, and those are very traditional for West Coast style IPAs. Post-fermentation, it's dry hopped 3 times over with Simcoe, Centennial, Amarillo, and Columbus to add more citrus, pine, and kind of dank undertones according to how they describe it. So let's give a smell here. Yeah, right away you can, your nose picks up there that kind of piney resinous, a little fruity as well. A lot of your modern hops, your Cascade Centennial and others, are different than they were 20 years ago when people on the West Coast, like California, what have you, were using them for brewing. And now they do have more kind of fruit notes to them. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, I like it. I'm a fan. I've always been a fan of this beer. It's one of the beers I order there when I go. The only downside is it comes in at 8.9%, which means you're not drinking a bunch of these things. But if you're going to have one or two, in my world, it's a great beer, great choice. It's got a nice bitterness that comes right away into the mouth and a little bit down the throat on the back note. Yeah, you definitely know that you're drinking a beer with a lot of hops in it. I couldn't find the IBUs on this, or the International Bitter Unit, or International Bittering Unit scale for this beer, but I'm going to guess it's got to be up in the 60s, maybe 70. Let's look at the can here. Again, we got the can. Kind of cool graphics here, Normaltown Brewing. Oh, there it is, 70 IBU. Geez, how smart am I? I swear to you, I did not cheat on that. Just after a while, you get you develop a palate for IBUs and how bitter something is. So, hey, let's see if I can get a shot of myself in here with the beer. How am I looking here? Gonna get down a little bit? Yeah, I know. So, hey, again, Matt, this is my channel. Beer, Wood, Bigfoot, Ghost. I would encourage you to go out there and support your local breweries and tap rooms like I do with Normaltown and all the others here in Athens and local surrounding area. In today's economy, your local breweries could use your help. Get out there and show them some love. Meet some good people, listen to some good music, play trivia, whatever they've got going on. I know all the breweries in my area have got a ton of events that they're always doing. So get out there and support them. And also remember, the struggle is real. I don't care what you're going through, what stage of your life you're in. Life is full of challenges, man. Talk to somebody. Don't bottle it up. Don't hold it in. Talk to somebody, whether that's family and friends or it's a professional. Either way, remember, support your local breweries and tap rooms. The struggle is real. My name is Matt, and this is my channel, Beer, Wood, Bigfoot, Ghost. Hope to see you soon. Oh, yeah, please subscribe. Hit the like button. Let's kind of build up some viewership here, will you? Prost.